Indian culture is extremely, extremely ancient. We have to accept that civilization in India is at least 5,000 years old. That is one of the mistakes in looking for a quote-unquote advanced civilization in the past, is that we tend to be looking for ourselves. Whereas it's possible for a civilization to be advanced in other ways.
Could the astonishing Kailasa temple at the Ellora caves, carved meticulously from a single massive rock, truly be the work of mere mortal hands?
There is a particular seal that has survived, and it shows a figure which is recognizable as the god Shiva.
This ancient architectural marvel, built in the 8th century under the patronage of King Krishna of the Rashtrakuta dynasty, stands as a monument not only to devotion and artistry, but also to an engineering prowess that seems almost superhuman.
I think we're confronted by an enormous mystery with megalithic sites all around the world, and we don't understand them properly.
With its elaborate carvings and grand scale, the Kailasa temple has sparked a captivating debate. Was this colossal structure really constructed using primitive tools of the age, or does it bear evidence of intervention by an advanced civilization, possibly beyond our earthly realm?
Some people think that the answer is extraterrestrial visitors. I don't think that's the answer, but who knows?
Tucked away in the basaltic hills of Maharashtra, the Ellora Caves complex is an architectural marvel of ancient India. Spanning from 600 to 1000 AD, these caves house a remarkable blend of Buddhist, Hindu, and Jain heritage. Among them, Cave 16, better known as the Kailasa Temple, stands out as the crowning glory of the site. Historically referred to as Veral, the area's location along ancient north-south trade routes undoubtedly played a critical role in its development. The Kailasa Temple, known for being the largest monolithic rock excavation in the world, showcases the advanced state of engineering and architectural skills during the 8th century. This temple was not built but rather carved top-down from a single massive rock, requiring meticulous planning and execution that speaks volumes about the capabilities of its creators.
There are unexplained issues in our past, which are presently not explained by the system that teaches us about the past.
Under the patronage of King Krishna I of the Rashtrakuta dynasty, the temple was commissioned around the mid-8th century. King Krishna I, also known as Krishna Rajanam, embarked on this ambitious project to emulate the sacred Mount Kailash, the mythological abode of Lord Shiva. The temple not only served as a place of worship, but also as a demonstration of the power and artistic aspiration of the Rashtrakutas. During a period of British colonial expansion in India, British officers often ventured on expeditions for leisure and exploration. It was during one such excursion that the lush, overgrown vegetation of the Maharashtra region, which had concealed the Ellora caves for centuries, finally gave way to one of the most significant archaeological discoveries in India.
A lot of archaeology that gets done doesn't get done because of a targeted search.
The year was 1819, and the caves, untouched and perfectly preserved as if in a time capsule, were stumbled upon accidentally by Captain John Smith and his party. The discovery by Captain Smith wasn't merely about uncovering a lost site, it was a revelation that peeled back the layers of India's rich and ancient civilization, which had thrived long before European powers set foot in the region. As Smith entered the caves, he was confronted with the grandeur of India's past, an intact cultural heritage that spoke volumes of its historical depth and complexity. However, Captain Smith left behind more than just the memory of his discovery. In what is now viewed as an act of historical vandalism, he inscribed his name and the date on a pillar inside Cave 10. At the time, such actions were common among explorers, who often left their marks as records of their presence. This graffiti, though frowned upon today, provided a tangible record marking the European discovery of the site and has since become a point of contention in discussions about heritage preservation versus the historical markers of colonial exploration. Following this accidental discovery, there was a renewed interest in the Ellora caves, leading to more systematic explorations and excavations. The Archaeological Survey of India, established in 1861, took on the mammoth task of excavating and preserving these ancient sites. Their efforts were crucial in maintaining the structural integrity and historical accuracy of the caves as they faced the dual pressures of time and increasing tourism. Detailed studies and documentation efforts were spearheaded by early explorers and scholars like James Burgess and later Ghulam Yazdani. Their meticulous work in cataloguing the sculptures, iconography, and architectural styles has been compiled into extensive reports and books, which remain invaluable resources for Indological studies today. This comprehensive documentation helps ensure that the Ellora caves, including the magnificent Kailasa temple, continue to be understood and appreciated not just as monuments, but as gateways to India's illustrious past. The Kailasa temple, also known as Cave 16 at the Ellora caves, truly stands as a testament to the ancient mastery of rock-cut architecture. This stunning structure isn't just a testament to grandeur, but also to a unique construction methodology that melds religious devotion with unmatched craftsmanship. Unlike traditional buildings constructed from the ground up, this temple was carved directly out of a single massive rock, a process that required not only extreme labor but also precise planning. The effort to remove approximately 200,000 tons of rock from the site underscores the monumental human endeavor that went into its creation, likely involving hundreds, if not thousands, of laborers across several generations.
Ancient cultures all around the world preserved a memory of a high civilization, of prehistory.
Symbolically, the temple mirrors Mount Kailasa, the mythical abode of Lord Shiva, suggesting that the architects intended to create a heavenly abode on earth. This ambition is evident not just in the temple's scale, but also in its elaborate multi-storied design, which features a rare vertical expansion in rock-cut architecture. Each floor is intricately adorned with carvings and statues that bring to life stories from Hindu mythology, especially those focusing on Lord Shiva, enhancing both the religious and aesthetic appeal of the temple. Comparing the Kailasa temple to the ancient city of Petra in Jordan highlights its unique features. While Petra is renowned for its impressive facades carved into rock faces, the Kailasa temple goes a step further. It is not just a facade but a complete excavation, with intricate vertical carvings that make its interiors as spectacular as its exteriors. Unlike Petra's relatively plain interiors, the Kailasa temple is elaborately detailed, with entire floors, columns, and ceilings that are ornately decorated to reflect Hindu religious themes. The engineering behind the Kailasa temple also addresses some significant challenges, such as maintaining structural integrity while removing massive volumes of rock. The architects and engineers employed their deep understanding of geology and engineering to ensure the stability and durability of the remaining structures. They even incorporated an ingenious drainage system to prevent water accumulation and erosion during the region's heavy monsoon seasons. Moreover, strategic placements of openings and alignments within the temple structure allow natural light to flood its interiors, enhancing the spiritual and aesthetic experience for visitors. The layout also facilitates the circulation of air and movement of devotees, crucial during religious ceremonies. These intriguing aspects of the Kailasa temple, combined with the mysteries surrounding its construction, have fueled various theories about its origins and the techniques used in its elaborate design. From theories suggesting extraterrestrial influence to speculations about advanced ancient technologies or a network of secret chambers, the temple continues to be a subject of fascination and scholarly debate.
I think the dating of quite a number of megalithic sites needs to be reconsidered.
These discussions not only celebrate the architectural genius of the temple's creators, but also deepen our appreciation for this ancient marvel. Exploring the mysteries of the Kailasa temple at a more refined level reveals a range of fascinating theories that try to explain its incredible construction. One such theory suggests that the technology and precision required for its creation in the 8th century might hint at extraterrestrial influence or the use of advanced ancient technology that has since been lost. While this idea captivates the imagination, most scholars and archaeologists believe that the temple's construction was well within the capabilities of human ingenuity at the time, pointing to similar rock-cutting techniques used across India long before the temple was built. Another intriguing theory about the Kailasa temple involves the possibility of a network of secret tunnels and chambers beneath the complex. Local legends and some speculative reports suggest that these could have served as passages for religious ceremonies or as escape routes during invasions. However, thorough archaeological investigations have yet to confirm these claims, and the natural rocky terrain of the area makes such an extensive network rather unlikely. The alignment of the Kailasa temple with celestial bodies forms yet another theory. Some believe that the temple, like many ancient structures, was designed in alignment with certain stars or planets to harness cosmic energies during significant astronomical events such as solstices and equinoxes. While there are notable celestial alignments at other ancient sites that lend some support to this theory, concrete evidence linking the Kailasa temple's orientation with celestial events remains elusive. As these theories continue to pique curiosity and scholarly debate, the significance of preserving such a monumental site has never been clearer. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Ellora caves, including the Kailasa temple, are the focus of ongoing preservation efforts. These efforts are crucial in protecting the site's intricate carvings and magnificent structures from both natural elements and the impacts of modern-day tourism, ensuring that this ancient marvel can be appreciated for generations to come. Deep in the high, rugged terrain of the Sacred Valley, the Temple of the Sun at Ollantaytambo stands as a marvel of ancient engineering. The temple's most awe-inspiring feature is undoubtedly the Wall of the Six Monoliths, composed of enormous stones weighing tens of tons each. The mystery of how these massive stones were transported to such an elevated location without modern technology continues to baffle scientists, historians, and archaeologists alike.
Some people think that the answer is extraterrestrial visitors. I don't think that's the answer, but who knows?
While theories abound, from the use of log rollers and ramps to the sheer force of human and animal power, the exact methods remain a subject of speculation and admiration.
Incredible megaliths there, which archaeology gives entirely to the Incas, even though the Incas themselves recognized and honored the work of predecessors.
The discovery of the Temple of the Sun in Ollantaytambo within the Sacred Valley is a proof to the blend of local wisdom and global scholarly interest that has illuminated many Incan sites to the world. This particular site's journey into modern awareness began in earnest during the 19th century and gained significant momentum from the explorative zeal of the early 20th century. Notable figures like Hiram Bingham, known for bringing Machu Picchu to global attention in 1911, played a crucial role in setting the stage for the exploration, even though he wasn't directly involved in its discovery. The first detailed accounts emerged from the efforts of explorers like Sir Clements Markham in the late 19th century. These early explorers documented the Inca trails and their connecting sites, marveling at Ollantaytambo's grandeur and intricate stonework while noting its potential significance. By the 1920s and 1930s, more thorough expeditions were conducted. Both Peruvian and international teams worked to catalogue the ruins using early photographic techniques, which helped to create detailed records that would prove invaluable for both restoration and further study.
If you wish to pass information to a distant future, you wouldn't be smart to just write it down. How can we know that our script is going to be readable by any other culture, let's say 10,000 years in the future?
The mid-20th century brought a surge of archaeological interest that introduced more scientific methods to the study of this ancient site. Beginning in the 1950s, archaeological teams started applying rigorous scientific techniques to their excavations, notably during the 1960s under the direction of American archaeologist John Rowe. His work was pivotal in contextualizing Ollantaytambo within the broader narrative of the Inca Empire's expansion and religious practices. These teams made significant technological advances, employing early photographic equipment and, later on, more sophisticated imaging techniques to analyze the alignment of the temple's stones. This was especially important for understanding the temple's role in relation to astronomical events, such as the solstices, which held considerable significance in Inca cosmology.
On the summer solstice, you're going to see the sun rising far to the north of east. Go there on the winter solstice, you're going to see it far to the south of east.
The local Quechua communities also played an essential role in the rediscovery and understanding of the Temple of the Sun. Their oral histories and legends, passed down through generations, spoke of the temple's celestial alignments and its role in Inca rituals. These stories often provided the missing links in understanding the site's function, highlighting the significance of specific stone placements and their relationship to Inca astrology. On many occasions, local stories guided archaeologists to specific parts of the site that had been overlooked or misunderstood. For instance, the legend of the Path of the Sun helped researchers identify and understand the importance of certain architectural lines that align with the sun during the winter solstice. further enriching our understanding of this magnificent site.
That advanced civilization emerged out of shamanism itself. Shamans are very observant of the cosmos and of what is going on.
Continuing our exploration of Ollantaytambo's fascinating features, let's delve into the marvel of the Wall of the Six Monoliths. This structure is a stunning testament to Inca engineering and architectural skill, comprising 6 massive stones, each carved with incredible precision. The craftsmanship is so meticulous that the joints between the stones are practically invisible, often said to be so tight that not even a piece of paper can slide through. The construction process of this wall was no small feat. The Incas employed sophisticated stoneworking techniques honed over generations. The stones, sourced from quarries several kilometers away, required a complex logistical effort to transport. While the exact methods remain a subject of debate among historians, theories include the use of log rollers, llamas, and substantial human labor. Upon arrival at the site, these stones were shaped with great care to fit together seamlessly, using a technique known as ashlar masonry, which involves cutting stones to fit without the need for mortar. This not only enhanced the wall's aesthetic and structural integrity, but also its resilience against the region's frequent earthquakes. Understanding the geological and architectural principles was crucial for the construction of such a structure. The Inca builders meticulously selected types of stone for their durability and resistance to weathering. The strategic alignment and interlocking of the stones added to the wall's stability, effectively distributing seismic forces across the structure rather than concentrating them at any single point. Adding to the mystique of the Temple of the Sun is its status as an unfinished monument. The construction was abruptly halted, marked by a chaotic scene where tools and materials were left scattered around the site. Large, partially carved stone blocks still lie around the site, painting a vivid picture of a sudden and dramatic cessation of work. This snapshot in time provides a unique window into the Inca construction techniques and the meticulous planning that characterized their building processes.
Is knowledge preserved and passed down through the ages? Yes, I think it is.
To truly appreciate the enormity of the Wall of the Six Monoliths, consider that each stone could weigh as much as 50 tons. This scale is comparable to the weight of 10 large African elephants or about 35 compact cars. Such comparisons not only highlight the ingenuity of the Inca builders, but also help us grasp the sheer scale of their architectural achievements. While exploring the impressive architectural feats of the Incas, another fascinating element at Ollantaytambo is the water mirrors near the Temple of the Sun. These reflective pools serve as a testament to the Incas' refined engineering and deep astronomical knowledge. Crafted to manipulate natural elements for both practical and ceremonial purposes, these water mirrors showcase a profound understanding of the environment. The design of these water mirrors was both ingenious and purposeful. The bases were made of flat, smooth stones polished to a high sheen, enhancing their reflective properties. The edges of the pools were lined with precisely cut stones, ensuring the water remained still and perfectly mirrored the sky above. The primary function of these mirrors was to observe and track celestial bodies, aiding the Incas in determining critical agricultural and calendrical periods. Such observations were vital for the timing of crop plantings and harvests, as well as for setting the dates of various religious festivals and ceremonies. The Incas demonstrated advanced hydraulic skills in constructing these water mirrors. They expertly channeled water from nearby rivers or springs through a complex system of aqueducts, ensuring a continuous flow into the mirrors throughout the year. This capability highlights their profound mastery of water management, which was essential for the functionality of the mirrors. The importance of these water mirrors came to light again in the late 20th century when they were rediscovered during a detailed archaeological survey. Covered by overgrowth and filled with debris for centuries, the mirrors were largely forgotten until the 1990s. Archaeologists using ground-penetrating radar and traditional excavation techniques found anomalies in the soil that led to the uncovering of these structures. Restoring them posed significant challenges. The process involved delicate procedures to clear the vegetation and debris without damaging the ancient stonework. Specialists in stone conservation were tasked with repairing cracks and replacing missing stones, using materials and techniques that matched the original Incan craftsmanship. An interesting parallel can be drawn between these Incan water mirrors and the Roman impluvium, water features central to Roman atrium houses designed to collect rainwater. While both cultures utilized architectural features involving water for practical purposes, The Incas took it a step further by integrating their water mirrors into their spiritual and astronomical practices, significantly differing from the Romans' primarily domestic use. This comparison highlights not only the universal human fascination with reflective surfaces in architecture across different cultures, but also the unique adaptations of such features to meet specific cultural needs and beliefs. Welcome to the mysteries of Sigiriya, the ancient sky fortress perched high above the jungles of Sri Lanka. Imagine a towering rock rising 660 feet into the sky, topped with a palace that seems to touch the clouds. But the questions that boggle the mind are, why and how did ancient humans build such an awe-inspiring structure, complete with a vast body of water high above the ground? In today's video, we'll climb the steps of Sigiriya, uncover its hidden secrets, and explore the incredible engineering feats of the past. Stay tuned as we unravel how this fortress was not just a marvel of beauty, but a masterpiece of ancient technology. Did you know that the stunning Sigiriya, or Lion Rock, has a story that reaches deep into the history of Sri Lankan royalty? This tale begins in the 5th century AD, chronicled vividly in the ancient Kulavamsa. This epic documents the saga of King Kasyapa, who ruled from 477 to 495 CE. In a dramatic twist of events, Kasyapa seized the throne from his half-brother Moggallana, setting the stage for a story of intrigue and architectural marvel. To safeguard himself against potential retaliation, Kasyapa moved the capital from Anuradhapura to the formidable Sigiriya rock. There, atop a 200-meter-high granite monolith, he commissioned the construction of a fortress and a luxurious palace, a clear display of his wealth and a testament to his architectural vision. However, after the fall of Kasyapa's dynasty, Sigiriya slipped into the shadows, cloaked by dense forest overgrowth and fading from collective memory. It wasn't until 1831 that the site re-emerged into the spotlight. That year, Major Jonathan Forbes of the 78th Highlanders, part of the British Army, rediscovered Sigiriya during a horseback expedition through the central forests of what was then Ceylon, now known as Sri Lanka. Stumbling upon this magnificent rock fortress and its ruins, Forbes's findings reignited global interest. His detailed writings and sketches brought Sigiriya back from obscurity, captivating colonial officials and scholars alike, and paving the way for future archaeological explorations. Following the rediscovery of Sigiriya by Major Jonathan Forbes, the archaeological spotlight turned toward this enigmatic structure, leading to its eventual excavation. The initial efforts to study Sigiriya were rather haphazard, lacking a systematic approach typical of early antiquarian activities in the region. However, a significant shift occurred in 1895 when HCP Bell, the first Commissioner of Archaeology for Ceylon and a British archaeologist, took charge. Bell's structured investigations laid the groundwork for understanding Sigiriya's complex layout and rich historical tapestry, illuminating various facets of its construction and artistic achievements. As the 20th century progressed, the Department of Archaeology of Sri Lanka took the helm, bringing a new level of rigor to the exploration of Sigiriya. These systematic archaeological excavations really began to take shape by the mid-century, further accelerated when Sigiriya was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in the 1980s. This period marked intense activities that included detailed mapping of the site, careful excavation of the gardens, and meticulous restoration of the ancient frescoes. Speaking of frescoes, these vibrant paintings on Sigiriya's western face are truly a sight to behold. Depicting celestial maidens known as apsaras, these artworks showcase the exceptional skill of ancient Sri Lankan artists. Created with natural mineral pigments, these frescoes have withstood the ravages of time, their colors still vivid after more than 1,000 years. Their creation technique, reminiscent of the fresco secco method seen in India's Ajanta caves, highlights a shared artistic tradition across the region, though Sigiriya's frescoes have a unique stylistic flair that seems to capture the maidens in ethereal motion, as if floating in the air. The site's water gardens are yet another marvel. Unearthed through diligent excavation, these gardens reveal an intricate hydraulic system featuring pools, pavilions, and dynamically engineered fountains. This level of sophistication in water management suggests comparisons with the legendary Hanging Gardens of Babylon, illustrating that such engineering marvels were not confined to the Western world. Sigiriya's gardens were not only aesthetically pleasing but also a demonstration of advanced hydraulic technology and urban planning by ancient engineers. Then there's the mirror wall, originally so well polished that it reflected King Kasyapa's image as he passed. Over centuries, this wall became a canvas for the thoughts and musings of visitors, covered in inscriptions that date back to the 6th century. These writings, ranging from poetry to personal reflections, provide a unique glimpse into the minds of ancient travelers, similar to modern-day guestbooks. This tradition of leaving one's mark is a human impulse seen across cultures and epochs, evident in places as far-reaching as the pyramids of Giza, where ancient graffiti also tells stories of those who came before us. Exploring further into the architectural wonders of Sigiriya, let's delve into why this location was chosen for such a grand fortress. The natural setting of Sigiriya itself offers some clues. Rising about 200 meters above the plains, the sheer height of this massive rock column provided unparalleled defensive benefits. This elevation was not just daunting for potential invaders to scale, but it also offered inhabitants a broad vantage point, allowing them to see for miles and spot any approaching threats long before they reached the fortress. The rock's steep and rugged sides further shielded the fortress, making direct assaults nearly impossible without advanced siege techniques. Just above the water gardens, the boulder gardens of Sigiriya paint a vivid picture of how natural landscapes were skillfully incorporated into the fortress's design. This area is dotted with large, naturally occurring boulders that have been cleverly integrated into the overall layout. Winding pathways snake around these colossal stones, leading to hidden nooks and strategic lookout points. These boulders weren't just pleasing to the eye, they played a crucial role in the fortress's defense, acting as natural barriers and fortified posts. This strategic use of natural rock formations is somewhat akin to the serene rock gardens of Ryoanji in Kyoto, Japan. Although both gardens feature natural stones, Sigiriya's boulder gardens were primarily designed for defense and control, while Ryoanji's layout aims for contemplation and aesthetic appreciation. Climbing higher, the terraced gardens mark the final stages of the ascent to Sigiriya's summit. Here, a series of staircases and pathways are carved directly into the rock face, not only facilitating access to the top but also allowing for the cultivation of gardens and the construction of small structures along the way. These terraces seamlessly integrate the sheer cliffs into the fortress's architecture, showcasing the ingenuity of ancient Sri Lankan architects who transformed a challenging environment into a livable and defensible space. This method of using terraces can be compared to the ancient Incan city of Machu Picchu, which also features gardens cut into mountainous terrain. Both Sigiriya and Machu Picchu utilized the verticality of their landscapes to enhance agriculture, habitation, and defense, demonstrating a deep understanding of how to adapt architecture to the natural environment effectively. As we've ascended through the layered terraces and lush gardens of Sigiriya, it's impossible not to marvel at its defensive capabilities, which are as impressive as its architecture. The entire fortress was safeguarded by a massive moat and towering walls. The approach to the rock itself was ingeniously designed to be narrow, funneling potential attackers into a tight space where they could be more easily repelled. Throughout the fortress, large boulders were strategically placed, ready to be rolled down on invaders, and certain staircases were cleverly designed to be easily removable or destroyed, preventing enemy progression. At the pinnacle of Sigiriya, extensive residential quarters once stood, serving as the royal abode for King Kasyapa and his retinue. These buildings were robustly constructed from bricks and stones, with some walls still resiliently standing. The stone blocks used in construction, though their exact weight is unknown, are estimated to weigh several tons each, hinting at the remarkable effort that went into their assembly. To create a flat area on the summit, large amounts of rock and soil were excavated, likely requiring immense manpower and possibly even elephant power, underscoring the vast resources at King Kasyapa's command. Drawing an interesting parallel, the construction feats of Sigiriya can be likened to those of the Incas' Machu Picchu in Peru. Both iconic structures were built in demanding locations, yet they demonstrate an extraordinary ability to blend architectural elements with the natural landscape. Machu Picchu, nestled between mountain peaks and featuring agricultural terraces and planned residential areas, echoes Sigiriya's integration of form and function within its environment. The scale of material moved and the meticulousness of Sigiriya's construction spotlight its stature as a marvel of ancient urban planning and engineering. More than just a military stronghold, Sigiriya symbolized royal authority and divine kingship, with its strategic defenses, luxurious residential quarters, and enchanting pleasure gardens all set against the backdrop of ingenious human innovation. This combination not only fortified the fortress physically, but also enshrined it as an indelible symbol of cultural and historical significance in ancient Sri Lanka.
In the remote wilderness of the North Caucasus, nestled within the Kabardino-Balkaria Republic, lies a rugged and untouched landscape. Towering mountains and vast, desolate stretches of wilderness guard the secrets of this isolated region. Few dare to venture here, but in 2011, Russian speleologist Arthur Zhemukov uncovered something that would challenge our understanding of ancient history. While exploring the peak of Karahora mountain, Zhemukov stumbled upon what appeared to be a simple vertical fissure in the earth. However, as he and his team descended, they realized this was no ordinary cave. The walls were lined with geometrically precise stone slabs arranged so perfectly that it became clear this was the work of human hands. The shaft, which initially appeared natural, revealed itself to be a man-made structure. Driven by curiosity, the team continued their descent. The polished stone walls plunged 130 feet before opening into a vast underground hall, standing an imposing 36 meters high. The shaft itself extended over 350 feet, constructed from massive megalithic blocks that fit together with near-perfect precision. The blocks formed right angles, leaving minimal gaps between them. Such craftsmanship raised serious questions. Who could have built such a structure, and how did they achieve such accuracy? Within the hall, Zhemukov's team found stone blocks resembling columns, arranged with such care that the site appeared to have been constructed for a specific purpose. The polished walls bore an uncanny resemblance to the Grand Gallery of the Pyramid of Khufu in Egypt. As they explored further, the passageways narrowed, some becoming too tight for even a child to pass through. Although they could not fully explore the structure, the evidence pointed to a single conclusion. This was no natural cave. It was a man-made structure of astonishing complexity. The scale and precision of the megalithic blocks raised profound questions. Some of the stones weighed over 200 tons, yet they had been fitted together with minimal gaps, much like other ancient wonders. What kind of technology could have enabled such an ancient civilization to construct such a monumental structure? As word of the discovery spread, it attracted the attention of other researchers. Vadim Chernobrov, head of Cosmopoisk, a Russian organization studying anomalies, joined Zhemukov on further expeditions. Using precise measurements, Chernobrov mapped the explored sections and produced a 3D model comparing the shaft to a Soviet space rocket. His findings emphasized the artificial design of the structure. Despite the overwhelming evidence that the Karahora shaft was man-made, its purpose remained a mystery. Chernobrov speculated that it might have had a technological function, possibly serving as part of a larger machine or seismological research facility. The narrow passageways suggested the structure was not designed for habitation, but for a more obscure purpose. Other researchers put forward bolder theories, suggesting that the shaft might be part of a long-lost pyramid buried beneath the mountain. Climbers exploring the region noted that there was constant airflow within the shaft, possibly indicating it once functioned as a ventilation system for a more extensive underground complex. Regardless of differing opinions, one thing became clear. The Karahora shaft was not a natural formation. As Zhemukov continued his research, he began to uncover links between the Karahora shaft and ancient legends passed down through generations in the North Caucasus. Myths of vast underground cities, built by forgotten civilizations, seemed eerily consistent with the structure's megalithic construction and geometric precision. The evidence suggested these legends might be rooted in fact. One particularly chilling connection tied the Karahora shaft to World War II. During the war, Germany launched Operation Edelweiss, an attempt to seize the oil-rich Caucasus region. For some leaders, however, the region held more than just strategic value. Heinrich Himmler, head of the SS, had a deep fascination with the occult and believed the Caucasus might hold clues to the origins of the Aryan race. Himmler's organization, the Ahnenerbe, scoured the world for ancient knowledge. Their interest in the Caucasus region, known for its legends of underground cities, was no coincidence. Jemukov's research revealed that German soldiers had come dangerously close to discovering the Karahora shaft during their occupation of the area. Near the entrance, they carved a swastika, a mark that suggested German researchers were on the hunt for ancient Aryan cities. Even more astonishing was the discovery of an ancient swastika near the same site, far older than when the German army first existed. Could it have been left by the civilization that built the shaft? Jemukov believed that the Karahora shaft wasn't an isolated site. He speculated that it was part of a larger network of ancient structures, remnants of a forgotten civilization hidden deep within the Caucasus Mountains. However, just as he prepared to deepen his research, tragedy struck. In 2015, after making what he described as a significant new discovery, Jemukov died in a car accident under mysterious circumstances. His sudden death shocked the research community, and some suspected it was no mere accident. Several other researchers connected to the Karahora shaft had also died under suspicious circumstances. Vadim Chernobrov, who had worked closely with Jemukov on many expeditions, passed away from cancer just 2 years later. Others involved in the research also met untimely deaths, adding to the air of mystery and danger surrounding the Karahora shaft. In the years following these tragedies, exploration of the shaft came to a halt. For a time, it seemed as though the mysteries of the Karahora shaft would remain buried. However, in 2017 and 2018, a man named Alexander Sploshnov ventured into the region, capturing a series of photographs that reignited interest in the site. His photos, uploaded to social media, confirmed what Jemukov and Chernobrov had long suspected. The Karahora shaft was not a natural formation. Sploshnov's images revealed massive stone blocks, cut with remarkable precision, as well as what appeared to be machine marks, hinting at advanced technology. Other photos showed stone formations buried beneath the soil, suggesting that the area had once been a major construction site. Despite these tantalizing discoveries, no new expeditions have been launched. The shadow cast by the deaths of those connected to the site, combined with its remote and inhospitable location, has kept the mysteries of the Karahora shaft locked away. To this day, the origin and purpose of the shaft remain unsolved. Was it part of an ancient, advanced civilization, or did it serve a purpose we have yet to understand? If proven to be man-made, the Karahora shaft would rank among the largest and most sophisticated megalithic sites on Earth, rivaling the pyramids of Egypt. Yet for now, its secrets remain hidden, waiting for a new generation of explorers brave enough to uncover them.
Graham Hancock's theories about an ancient civilization in Antarctica are quite intriguing, although they veer significantly from mainstream scientific views. He speculates that a part of this lost advanced civilization was located in what's now the icy expanse of Antarctica. This is a striking thought considering Antarctica's current freezing conditions. He links this to the hypothesis of Earth crust displacement.
The entire outer crust of the Earth, like the skin of an orange, might shift, leaving the core of the Earth in place.
This theory suggests that Antarctica wasn't always at the South Pole, but might have been in a more temperate region, allowing a civilization to thrive. However, it's crucial to note that this idea of Earth crust displacement isn't supported by the current scientific understanding of plate tectonics, which doesn't allow for such rapid and dramatic shifts of the Earth's crust. Hancock also delves into mythology, drawing connections between various global myths, legends, and religious texts. He interprets these as allegorical references to this lost civilization, particularly focusing on stories of great floods or cataclysms. He proposes that such a cataclysm, maybe a flood or a comet impact, led to the downfall of this advanced civilization?
To me, the obvious answer is we are dealing with the fingerprints of a lost civilization that mapped the world and that left evidence of that mapping.
According to his theory, survivors of this catastrophe might have traveled the world, spreading their advanced knowledge, significantly influencing the development of later civilizations like the Egyptians and Sumerians. One of the more fascinating aspects of his theory is how he points out the similarities in architectural structures and astronomical alignments at various ancient sites. He sees these as potential evidence of a shared origin of knowledge, suggesting that this knowledge could have been passed down from the earlier civilization. Hancock believes that this civilization's legacy includes not just advanced architectural techniques and astronomical observations, but potentially other lost technologies and wisdom.
The date that Göbekli Tepe in Turkey is built, 11,600 years ago. That, weirdly, is the date that Plato's Timaeus and Critias gives for the submergence of Atlantis.
While his ideas certainly capture the imagination, it's important to remember that they are viewed with skepticism by the scientific community. Antarctica during the Eocene epoch was a completely different world from what we know today. It was actually positioned over the South Pole, just like it is now. But the climate back then was way warmer, allowing for a whole different kind of environment. This was a time when the continents were still shifting around after the breakup of the supercontinent Pangaea. So Antarctica, which was part of what we call Gondwana, was slowly moving to where it sits now, all isolated at the bottom of the world. This shifting around of continents, like Australia and South America moving away, played a big role in changing ocean currents and the climate. One of the most striking things about Antarctica back then was that it didn't have the massive ice sheet it has today. This absence of ice was mainly because of the much warmer global temperatures at the time. This had a big knock-on effect on the planet's climate, as the reflective ice that sends solar radiation back into space wasn't there, adding to the overall warmth. The tectonic movements during the Eocene were also pretty significant. The breakup of Gondwana was a major event reshaping the layout of the Earth's land and water. A key moment was the opening of the Drake Passage, the stretch of water between Antarctica and South America. This opening was a game-changer because it led to the creation of the Antarctic Circumpolar Current, which is a massive ocean current that goes around Antarctica. This current had a huge impact on the climate. It kind of put Antarctica in a climatic bubble, circulating cold water around it and stopping the warmer waters from the north from getting through. This is believed to have played a big part in cooling down Antarctica and leading to the ice-covered continent we know today. As for what life was like back then, the fossil records are really fascinating. They show that Antarctica supported a diverse range of plants and even animals. We're talking about temperate to subtropical forests with beeches, conifers, and ferns. Imagine that in place of today's icy desert. These fossils tell us the climate was much warmer and humid, and then there's the sea level, which was way higher than what we see now because there weren't those big ice caps locking up all that water.
So this is how do you know that sea level rose? There are certain corals that can only exist within a certain number of feet of the sea's surface.
This meant that the coastline and the shape of the land were quite different, and some places that are land now were underwater back then. The warmer temperatures and higher sea levels would have made the marine life around Antarctica rich and diverse, very different from what's there now. The Eocene epoch, which lasted from about 56 to 34 million years ago, was a really interesting time in Earth's history. It was part of this bigger period called the Paleogene period, and it's a part of what scientists call the Cenozoic era. This era is often nicknamed the Age of Mammals because it's when mammals started to diversify a lot, especially after the dinosaurs had their big exit at the end of the Cretaceous period. During the Eocene, the world's continents were on the move, drifting towards where they are now. This movement was a big deal because it changed how ocean currents flowed and affected the climate in a bunch of ways. Now, one of the most dramatic things about the Eocene was this event called the Paleocene-Eocene thermal maximum. This happened around 56 million years ago, and it was a time when the Earth got really warm, really fast. Temperatures shot up by 5 to 8 degrees Celsius in just a few thousand years. Scientists think this might have been because of a ton of methane being released from the ocean floor. This warming had a huge impact on life on Earth. In the oceans, some species went extinct, while on land, mammals started to evolve and diversify like crazy. The levels of CO2 in the atmosphere were also way higher than what we have today. Estimates say it was between 1,000 to 2,000 parts per million, which is a lot compared to the pre-industrial level of about 280 ppm. This high level of CO2 came from things like volcanic activity, burning of organic matter, and because natural carbon sinks weren't as effective, one of the big differences between the Eocene and now was that there were no major ice sheets at the poles. This is really different from today, where we've got big ice caps in both the Arctic and Antarctic. Because the Earth was so much warmer, the temperature difference between the equator and the poles wasn't as extreme as it is now. As a result, the polar regions were much warmer than they are today. And because there was less ice, sea levels were higher. This means a lot of water that's currently frozen in ice was in the ocean back then. This affected marine life a lot, changing where different species lived and leading to the development of new types of marine ecosystems.
One of the things I find most striking is the presence of Antarctica on ancient maps, because we didn't discover it until 1820.
Now, Graham has a really fascinating theory about an ancient advanced civilization that he believes existed long before the civilizations we commonly recognize, like the Sumerians of Mesopotamia. His idea pushes the timeline of advanced human societies back tens of thousands of years, possibly even to the last ice age. This is a huge leap from the established historical understanding, which generally sees complex societies and civilizations emerging more recently. Hancock points to the incredible architectural feats of ancient megalithic structures like those at Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, Stonehenge in England, and various sites in Egypt and Mesoamerica. He sees these as evidence of a highly advanced architectural knowledge. Moreover, he talks about the astronomical precision of these structures. For instance, how the Great Pyramids of Giza align with the stars of Orion's belt, or how Stonehenge aligns with the solstices and equinoxes. These aren't just random placements. They suggest a deep understanding of the stars and seasons. He also believes this civilization had impressive navigational skills, which might explain how similar architectural and astronomical concepts appeared across different continents. But it's not just about the buildings and their alignments with celestial events. Hancock thinks these ancient monuments reflect a comprehensive knowledge of astronomy that was integrated into the culture and religious practices of the time. He also suggests evidence of sophisticated urban planning in ancient ruins, indicating a level of societal organization and city-building knowledge that's not typically credited to prehistoric societies. Then there's the idea of a global spread of knowledge. Hancock theorizes that the similarities in architectural styles and astronomical knowledge across various ancient cultures around the world point to a common, advanced source of knowledge. This knowledge could have been spread by the survivors of this ancient society. Graham Hancock's theory really takes a global perspective when it comes to the influence of this ancient, advanced civilization he proposes. He thinks that this civilization had a major impact all over the world. It's not just a localized phenomenon, but something that reached across continents. According to him, we can see traces of this civilization in the myths, architectural designs, and astronomical knowledge of many different ancient cultures. He's suggesting that there's a kind of cultural diffusion that took place from this lost civilization to later societies. So when we see similar styles in buildings or common themes in religious beliefs and astronomical practices across various ancient cultures, he interprets this as evidence of their influence. He goes further to speculate that after some huge disaster that brought this civilization down, the survivors might have spread out to different areas of the world. These survivors, he believes, were the ones who passed on their advanced knowledge, and this played a crucial role in the development of the civilizations we know about from history, like the Egyptians and Sumerians. Now, when it comes to evidence, Hancock looks at archaeological sites and findings that he feels mainstream archaeology hasn't been able to fully explain. He talks about structures that, to him, seem like they needed pretty advanced engineering or astronomical know-how to build. He also dives into ancient texts and myths, interpreting them not just as stories or legends, but as allegorical records of real historical events. Think of tales about great floods or lost lands like Atlantis. Hancock sees these as collective memories of the lost civilization. He also notes that there are these cross-cultural similarities, like how myths from different parts of the world seem to share common themes, or how architectural styles and astronomical knowledge seem to echo each other even across cultures that supposedly never interacted. To Hancock, this points to a shared older source of knowledge. In the rugged landscapes of southwestern Turkey, the Lycian civilization remains one of history's mysterious marvels, famed for its breathtaking stone-carved tombs and complex societal structures.
I think we're looking at hints and clues that something is missing in our story.
But how did this ancient culture achieve such architectural feats, intricately carving entire complexes directly into sheer cliffs? As we delve into the ruins of Xanthos, Tlos, and Mycenae, we uncover not only the technical prowess, but also the profound myths that propelled Lycia beyond mere survival, embedding it deeply in the tapestry of human heritage.
Again, unfortunately, archaeologists largely sneer at myth. But I think the myths of the world, those that have survived, are the Hall of Records of the lost past.
Nestled along the rugged southwestern coast of Turkey, Lycia is a region framed by mountainous terrain, dense forests and steep cliffs, which not only made it difficult to access, but also helped preserve its rich and distinct identity. This isolation meant that Lycia developed somewhat independently of its neighbors, cultivating a unique historical footprint that remained largely untouched until European explorers stumbled upon it. The first accounts of Lycia's mysterious ruins surfaced during the 18th century, when travelers like the French explorer Charles Texier and the English archaeologist Richard Pocock documented the extensive ruins, rock-cut tombs, and grand sarcophagi that dotted the landscape. Their writings sparked a wave of curiosity and set the stage for more focused explorations.
If you wish to pass information to a distant future, you wouldn't be smart to just write it down. How can we know that our script is going to be readable by any other culture, let's say 10,000 years in the future?
One of the pivotal figures in Lycian studies was Charles Fellows, an English archaeologist whose expedition in 1838 marked a turning point in uncovering the past of this enigmatic civilization. Driven by fascinating tales of remarkable ruins, Fellows undertook a systematic exploration of the region, meticulously mapping the area and documenting numerous sites. His work wasn't just about identifying locations, he detailed everything from the friezes and tombs to the fortresses he encountered, providing a comprehensive look at the remnants of Lycian society. This thorough documentation played a crucial role in introducing Lycian civilization to the broader academic world, and eventually led to the first official archaeological excavations under the auspices of the British government.
The second issue with ruling out completely the possibility of a lost civilization is that archaeology sets itself up as the sole arbiter as to what is and what is not evidence.
Through Fellows' dedicated efforts, the wonders of Lycia were brought into the limelight, revealing a civilization that had mastered the art of building in harmony with its challenging landscape. During his explorations, Charles Fellows unearthed several significant sites that continue to shed light on the ancient civilization of Lycia. Xanthos, the once flourishing capital, stands as a monumental testament to Lycian culture, blending funerary architecture that tells tales of a society rich in traditions and artistic expression. Among its most notable structures is the Nereid monument, an elaborate tomb from around 400 BC, named after the sea nymphs that adorn its friezes. The detailed bas-reliefs depicting humans and gods illustrate a cosmopolitan blend of Lycian and Hellenistic styles, making Xanthos a treasure trove for historians and archaeologists alike. The site also boasts ruins of an acropolis, several Byzantine churches, and unique pillar tombs, offering a vivid glimpse into the past.
There are unexplained issues in our past, which are presently not explained by the system that teaches us about the past.
Moving on to Tlos, this city is another jewel in Lycia's archaeological crown, famed for its extensive tombs and a well-preserved acropolis. Perched on a rocky outcrop, the acropolis provided strategic views and served as a formidable fortress through various epochs, including Lycian, Roman, and Ottoman times. One of the city's most captivating tales revolves around the legendary hero Bellerophon, who, according to myth, tamed the winged horse Pegasus. His supposed tomb, marked by a striking relief of this mythical scene, highlights the fascinating intermingling of myth and mortuary traditions in Lycian culture. Tlos also featured a plethora of architectural wonders like an ancient theatre, Roman baths, and a stadium, underscoring its significance as a cultural and administrative hub. Further exploring the region, Mycenae, though less documented than Xanthos and Tlos, is critically important for understanding Lycian burial customs. The intricately carved tombs here are not just architectural feats, but also serve as a canvas for rich narrative reliefs and inscriptions in the Lycian language. These inscriptions are invaluable, providing insights into the social structures, laws, and daily life of the Lycian people, and offering a profound perspective on their linguistic and cultural landscape. Each of these sites, discovered or studied extensively by fellows, continues to offer invaluable insights into the ancient world, revealing the complexity and richness of Lycian society. When exploring the ancient burial practices of the Lycians in sites such as Xanthos, Tlos, and Mycenae, a fascinating contrast emerges with Egypt's Valley of the Kings. Both regions are renowned for their elaborate tombs designed to honor the deceased, yet they embody profoundly different architectural styles and cultural philosophies. The Valley of the Kings, with its subterranean tombs, was crafted to prepare for the afterlife and separate the dead from the living, reflecting a focus on the otherworldly.
The Book of What is in the Duat, which you will find painted on the walls of many of the tombs in the Valley of the Kings.
In stark contrast, Lycian tombs are monumental and highly visible within the landscape, signifying a different approach to death and remembrance where the dead remain a part of the community's everyday life, visible and integrated within their environment. The pivotal explorations by Charles Fellows not only brought these Lycian sites to the broader attention of the world, but also secured crucial interest and funding from institutions like the British Museum. His initial expeditions in the 1840s, sanctioned by the British government, eventually led to the transportation of significant artifacts, including pieces from the Nereid monument back to England. These artifacts would later become central exhibits at the British Museum, sparking debates about cultural heritage and the ethics of artifact repatriation. Fellows detailed his adventures and findings in An Account of Discoveries in Lycia, a publication that not only catalogued his discoveries, but also offered insights into the potential connections between the Lycian script and the early Greek alphabet. This hinted at a rich cultural interchange between the Lycians and their Greek neighbors, providing a deeper understanding of their interactions. The discoveries in Lycia filled significant gaps in our understanding of the Eastern Mediterranean's historical dynamics during antiquity, revealing a civilization that, while under the influence of Greek and Persian empires, forged a unique identity that integrated these influences into a distinct cultural and political framework. The architectural legacy of Lycia offers a fascinating glimpse into the region's unique identity and historical interactions. Among the most striking features of this heritage are the Lycian funerary monuments, particularly the rock-cut tombs that blend local and external influences beautifully. These tombs, intricately carved directly into the limestone cliffs of Lycia, often take the form of small temples or mimic traditional Lycian wooden houses, complete with detailed pediments, columns, and reliefs. The styles reflect both Greek and Persian influences, yet they maintain distinctive Lycian characteristics, portraying a society that was receptive to external ideas while fiercely preserving its independence. The house-type tombs, for instance, replicate the facades of Lycian wooden homes, featuring pseudo-beams and gabled roofs that echo the domestic architecture of the era. On the grander side, temple-type tombs imitate Greek temples with their intricate Ionic or Doric columns and richly decorated friezes, illustrating the cultural exchange between the Lycians and the Greeks. A prime example of this architectural marvel is the tomb of Amyntas in modern-day Phthia, dating back to the 4th century BC. This tomb stands out for its grand scale and detailed design, resembling a temple facade with 2 Ionic columns supporting a large pediment. The pediment and the tomb's inner chamber showcase the exquisite Lycian craftsmanship, adept at manipulating the region's limestone. An inscription in Lycian script above the doorway, identifying the tomb as the resting place of Amyntas, son of Hermagios, provides valuable insights into the personal identities and social structures of ancient Lycia. An interesting parallel can be drawn between the rock-cut tombs of Lycia and the renowned Nabatean city of Petra in Jordan. Both civilizations crafted elaborate structures into sheer rock faces, primarily for use as tombs or religious sites. While Petra is famous for its monumental scale and blend of Eastern and Hellenistic architectural styles, Lycian tombs are typically more modest in scale, but equally intricate in detail. Unlike Petra's tombs, which are part of a broader urban landscape, Lycian tombs are often standalone monuments set in remote cliff faces. As excavations in the region continue, archaeologists are moving beyond these iconic tombs to uncover urban centers, religious sanctuaries, and domestic structures, painting a fuller picture of daily life in ancient Lycia. Concurrently, there are ongoing efforts to preserve these deteriorating stone monuments, which are vulnerable to environmental and human-induced damage. The continued study of Lycia is reshaping historical narratives about the interactions between the Greek and Persian worlds, particularly through its unique blend of art and political structures, showing how Lycian culture managed to bridge East and West while maintaining a distinct identity.